and we present Chris Young, who is like the man of the hour. The deGrom signing happens, and everybody's like, wow, I guess they are serious about winning a World Series title in Arlington. Good to see you, CY. Congratulations on landing a very big fish.
Well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate you guys having me, and certainly we're excited to land a very big fish.
Well, now that it's landed, take us back. I mean, this didn't start in 2 days and you signed him and boom, press conference. When did this all start? Take us through the process.
Well, I think it started really with our pro scouting group going into the offseason. We identified that we need to upgrade our starting pitching. And as we were very clear about going into the offseason, we were going to explore all ends of the market. And we didn't put limits on this. This was a commitment from our ownership group that we want to win. Our fans deserve to win, and it's time for us to win. And in order to do that, you have to have really good players. And so our ownership has been unbelievably supportive in giving us the resources to make moves like this. Our scouting group really did a great job preparing for the offseason. And as we came in, we put no limits on what we were going to explore. And as we started to have conversations, it became clear this may be a possibility, and one thing led to the next, and we were able to get it done.
So were you kind of salivating that this is a pitcher? Last year you had 2 infielders. So you're not really talking about ground balls and stuff like that, but now you got a pitcher. And your and Jake's conversations probably went to another level. Am I right with that?
Yeah, I mean, Jacob would have to answer that. I thought there was a great connection. I thought, Boch and I both met with him on Zoom before Thanksgiving. I thought it was a tremendous meeting. We really connected. I felt it. I think Jacob from his end felt it, and certainly am grateful that he has bought into what we're building the same way Marcus and Corey did last year. And, I think we're excited to have him, and we think he's a big part of what we're trying to build here.
I can just see the smile on Boch's face when you called him and said we got him. I mean, what was that conversation like, and what was his reaction to you?
Boch had a little inkling that there was some talks going on, but I don't think he knew how fast they accelerated. And when I called him and said, Boch, we're at the finish line, we're going to get this done, I think his exact reaction was, holy smokes.
How did you get Boch to come out of retirement?
Well, Harold, just very honestly, I think just presenting our vision and what I believe we are building and how we're building it and how we're committed to building it, and just being authentic about who we are and what we believe we can build with our market, an unbelievable stadium, a fan base that's craving a winning team, and an ownership group that's committed to giving us the resources to have a payroll commensurate with a top market. So I think that, all things considered, I think Boch looked at it and saw really beneath the surface, beneath last year's record in the last several years, that we have a very good thing going, in our opinion, and we're excited to continue that, but we need his leadership.
Do you have any vineyards in Texas? I wasn't sure about that. That played into
he'll figure out a way. Don't worry. Boch will figure out a way. I mean, we have to hit you with this, even though we know you can't really tell us, but there are people that are talking about maybe even more in Arlington, maybe more big checks being written. Verlander's getting some run down there. Bassett, you guys are actively looking to upgrade the rest of your staff. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, Matt, we're not a complete roster. I mean, we recognize that. We recognize how good the Astros are, the Mariners, the Angels. Certainly, Oakland they're on the upswing in terms of the talent that they're constructing with their roster. So we recognize that the division is tough. It's not going to get any easier. We're not a finished team, and I think that between the depth that we feel like we have coming with our minor league group and adding the right veteran free agents, we're going to look for all ways to continue to improve our roster.
So how different is it for you now, really driving the whole baseball boat, so to speak, for the Rangers now that you're the head guy in charge? Is that a different position for you?
Harold, it's not. I have loved working with John Daniels, who's been a mentor and a great friend, and certainly has put together the foundation of a great organization and really set the table for where we are. But really, I'm not running things. We have a great team in place, and I have wonderful people around me helping me on a daily basis, and collectively we're doing it together.
I know that you are a baseball executive now, and that your post-playing career is a whole different animal. But I always remember what you did on the mound, and I heard the best story yesterday. This is the beauty of the winter meetings, when you get to see people you haven't seen in a while. Your former battery mate, who you have hired to work with you in Arlington, Nick Hundley, told us the greatest story yesterday about your preparation as a pitcher. I think it speaks to what you do as an executive as well, because you're very thorough in your job. And the story was this. We're playing the Dodgers. Manny Ramirez had just been traded over. This was when he's at the peak of his powers, and CY gave us all some very heavy details about how he wanted to approach Manny. So you to pick up the story there because it's a great one.
Well, I'll preface it by saying I think it was Nick's rookie year. Manny had come over to the Dodgers. I was pitching for the Padres, and I couldn't get Manny out to save my life. So I was going through the scouting report and thinking, how are we going to get Manny out? He homers off me every at bat. So I don't think I had thrown him a curveball before, and so I told Nick, if we get 0-2, I'm going to throw him a curveball. He's never seen it. It may freeze him. We may have a chance here. So anyway, that's exactly what happened. And Nick got behind the plate. He called every pitch but a curveball, which showed his level of conviction with the curveball. And in the end, we got back to it and threw it. And I think it was the one time I got Manny out.
So good. I love that kind of stuff,
great.
man.
I love it.
Chris, a lot of fun watching what you guys are doing right now. Everybody's waiting for the next thing. But it's beyond just player acquisitions. I know that you're really kind of remaking the Rangers structurally from a baseball operation standpoint. Talk about some of the people that you've added to your staff that aren't wearing uniforms.
Well, again, I think it goes back to it's an entire organization. I think we have a tremendous group of people, and it starts really with the work John Daniels did in terms of putting a lot of good people in place. And we're going to continue to look to add in terms of that. I think that we're always looking to add firepower to the organization, whether it's on the field, in the coaching staff, or in the front office. And again, our ownership group has been very supportive in terms of that. But we've got a great group, but it takes a village to run these organizations, and we're going to continue to look to improve, and that's the best I can describe it.
Rangers are on the up trend right now.
What college basketball team you got this year?
Oh,
come on,
Harold! I haven't had a chance to watch any college hoops. I will at some point, but I don't even know who the top 10 is right now, unfortunately.
That's a good
We had
thing.
Scott Bradley on the show last week talking about the Tigers, and Harold was talking about you and others and Will Venable and Princeton men in our game. Chris, we appreciate the visit, man. A lot of fun watching you guys work. Way to go.
Thank you, buddy.
Guys, I
Appreciate
appreciate you
man.
having me. Great seeing you all.